Hey guys, I'm Jax.
And I'm Victoria.
And you're listening to
Like Totally Random, a brand new podcast about music, Netflix, movies, and everything in between.
Okay, so let's talk about our theories about what happened on Stranger Things.
Okay, let's talk about how we crushed our theories on Stranger Things Season 3. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. If you have not already watched the first half on through to the end of the season, I would stop here and come back to it until you have. We do not want to be responsible for messing any theories up of your own until you have had a chance to watch it yourself. So definitely stop and come back to us later.
We've given you over a week if you haven't finished it. What are you doing?
Too fucking bad.
Go back and watch it.
What are you doing with your life? You like working out or?
Oh yeah, you working out?
Like you got stuff to do?
It
like,
doesn't look like you went to the gym.
Like maybe some kids, you know?
Oh.
Kids take kids take up a lot of time, I understand.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so let's start with episode 1. I guess we're not necessarily going to do it by episode, but we'll kind of just talk about our theories, what we were right on, what we were wrong on, and some theories we have for upcoming season 4.
Okay, so as I hypothesized, I crushed it. We crushed it, should I say.
I mean, let's be real, you really you got it down to the fine details. I'm so impressed. It's like unbelievable.
Somebody hire me. I'm here, Netflix. Do you hear me?
Netflix, is that you?
But yeah, I mean, even our one-off theory that there were Russians.
Yeah.
I cannot believe.
I mean, that was a little bit easier to kind of see, I think, just because of the vibe and the look of them. Like, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised at the same time. I think it was too easy. I feel like there's quite a few, like, movies and shows back from, like, the 90s and the 80s that kind of allude to the Russians having one particular look.
True, very true. But, I mean, he wasn't just tall, blonde, and held a gun, you know?
True.
Let's not discredit ourselves.
True, very true. We're obviously that good. So, yeah, it was easy to kind of get that Russian vibe down. And then as you see, you know, it's definitely Russian comrades trying to
take over Hawkins and be douchebags.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, Jax? You were 100% right with the faculty infecting thing.
Yeah. Yep.
At first I was like, no, but you nailed it.
I kind of got that vibe. Something about the water, something about a few of the previews kind of like made it just very reminiscent of kind of like a bug or a virus or something. So yeah, I'm kind of happy to see that that's where they took it because I feel like that's really easy to emulate.
Yeah, I think it was definitely Invasion of the Body Snatchers-esque.
Yes.
Which I think was perfect for the time. I mean, it was the 80s.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it came out in like the 70s or something, so perfect.
Right on board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. We were right about Billy.
We were.
Ish.
No.
Mostly.
I think we were pretty right. I mean, he doesn't smash Mrs. Wheeler, but he smashes her head in, so that's close enough.
Oh my god, that's true. There was some smashing done. One of them needed protection. One of them didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Awkward.
Damn. Okay. The one thing I will say that we were totally wrong on is the shower scene where we thought it was somebody else's hand. I honestly had to rewind it and re-watch it because it's just Billy's hand.
Yeah. Well, they do kind of set it up in the trailers to make you think that it's the reverse, really, that somebody's grabbing Billy. So that's great editing on their part, as well as us being somewhat right, or you being right, actually, about Billy's voice.
Yeah, okay, shout out to my friend Katie. I promise to give you a shout out for having that theory. That was her theory.
Yeah, she was right on. That was it, because you can't really tell.
No, and I didn't believe it at first. Like I said, I thought it was maybe Hopper, maybe it was somebody else, but she was right on the money with that.
Yeah, that was perfect. And not only that, but kind of really did fall in line with the overall story for this season.
Right.
You know, you now that you know who it is, you heard him talking, you know exactly what kind of happened, and yeah, like it was kind of a perfect situation.
And the sauna test actually did end up being how I thought it was at first, where they find out that Billy might be infected and they throw him in the sauna. I just wish it had worked. I understand why it didn't, but...
Yeah. I thought that was a really interesting scene. I thought the sauna test would be a bit more about more than just Billy, or at least quite a few different sorts of people.
Right.
I thought it was interesting how they how the show targeted Billy real fast.
Right.
I mean, overall, the show takes place in the span of a couple of days.
Yeah, it's literally a couple of days.
Yeah. So, like, you know, getting to know the bad guy really soon was great. And I feel like because last season and the seasons before, you're trying to understand what the Upside Down is, and you're trying to understand who, like, you know, the Mind Flayer, like, who those sort of characters, quote unquote, are, you know, to get a bad guy right off the bat and to put a face to the name is good.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think they laid the foundation with season 1 and 2. We know what the Upside Down is. We know about the gate. Mm-hmm. We already know about the Mind Flayer. So I think it was definitely an easy way for them to kind of shift gears and have a little more character development.
Yes.
Without having to build up so much on educating the audience on who the baddie is.
Yeah, totally. And also, you already kind of hated Billy.
Exactly.
So you didn't mind hating him even more.
I wanted redemption. I think he did redeem himself a little bit.
He did at the end for sure. I think he definitely, you know, gave us that little crumb that we needed in order to say goodbye to him.
I don't want to say goodbye.
R.I.P.
He could have, God, he really could have been somebody. I mean, the actor is amazing.
I love him.
Same. I'm like obsessed with him. But that scene where he's in the sauna and he's, you know, talking about how he doesn't want to do all these things and the way he looks at Max and he's just purely devastated. God. And then to know that he never gets real redemption.
Yeah, he doesn't really... Yeah, there's no chance, unfortunately, and I wish that his character could have stayed around longer, but...
And I definitely think his death was the kind of death that was final. It wasn't like his eyes were closed, maybe he was still breathing. Mm-mm. You see the life leave him.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that.
No.
And I think his character... I think it's okay for him to end, for his character to end.
No.
But I don't think there's any more there. Like, what are you going to do in season 4? Cut to him PTSD and not doing anything in his life?
Yeah, and trying to be a better person because he realized what a dick he was.
No, but that like in itself is sad too. His story behind all that.
Yeah, and then he just dies.
I know.
Like he's abused by his father. He leaves his home in California. His mom leaves him, and then suddenly he gets possessed by an evil monster from the Upside Down, and then he dies.
No, he did not have a.
It's a fucked up character arc.
Yeah, did not have a happy life.
It's devastating.
Poor dude. But I think from this has sparked or shown us a really good actor.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see what else.
I am too. He's coming out in something, I think he posted on Instagram or something like that. Whatever it is, I'm going to watch it. I don't care.
We'll watch it, whatever it is. Just give it to us right now.
We'll probably do an episode later. Bye.
Yeah, so some things we were wrong. What else?
Oh, okay. The only thing... No, we weren't really wrong. So from the beginning, I wasn't 100% on board with Robin as Steve's love interest.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I was pretty solid.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we were all kind of like, who is this person? And what's going on? I love the fact that obviously she's queer. Mm-hmm. So it kind of gives another added level to this sort of show. I
just love Steve's reaction.
Me too.
It's the 80s. You'd think he'd be incredibly homophobic.
Yes, yeah.
But he's just like, but that's a girl. And then he just is like, well, she sucks at singing. Like, it's no big deal.
Like, you can do better than her.
Absolutely.
I love that he gave that vibe to her, to Robin. It was great.
He turned it around and ended up comforting her instead.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever truly... One of my friends was saying how they were upset that he was heartbroken or whatever, but I don't get the impression that he was ever truly into her. If anything, it was like, what other option do I have? I'm striking out with the ladies because they look goofy as hell in this outfit. Plus, Dustin kept saying, Robin's perfect.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I think he was like trying to fall into this line of who he should date.
Right.
Rather than being that into her.
Right. Which I think is his problem because look what he did with Nancy.
That's true. And he even said that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the whole time Okay, my friend and I were watching this simultaneously in our separate homes.
Texting each other.
We literally texted each other every single time something happened. And I texted my friend and I was like, dude, Robin looks so much like Uma Thurman.
Oh, yeah.
Not realizing she is Uma Thurman's daughter.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
I'm like shook.
She's and now that you know, guys, if you didn't know, you're welcome. You can definitely see it in her.
Absolutely.
Like she has Uma Thurman's like eyes and the same shape of her face, but she has like her dad's mouth, and both of them are great actors. I'm not a huge fan of Ethan myself, but I think that he's a good actor, or he can be a good actor.
I love me some Ethan Hawke.
You do, yeah. I don't know. It's like it's his stuff outside of being in movies, and I'm like, you're a bit of a douche.
I mean,
he cheated on her. He cheated on Uma.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off. How do you cheat on Uma Thurman?
No idea.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
Okay.
And she had a better career than he ever did.
100%. Maybe that's why. Maybe he was just a little resentful.
And he's quite short.
Ooh, fuck.
Small man syndrome.
That Napoleon syndrome.
I know. But he also has quite a big nose, so.
He's very attractive. Let's be real.
Yeah, so that's crazy to kind of see the new generation of kind of like Hollywood, celebrities having their kids become their own, great actors in their own right. It's great.
I'm really excited to see what happens with Robin and Steve. I think they're going to be the best bromance.
Yeah, same.
Aside from Dustin and Steve, obviously, but that's more of a mother-son relationship.
I love them so much. The love for their friendship has carried on into this season, and like they just really kind of get each other.
Yeah.
The way that they stop and like talk to each other, and they don't have to necessarily like say everything, and they'll joke around with each other. They're such a cool pair.
Absolutely. It's definitely like long suffering. Like they both know that they each have weird quirks, but they still love each other.
Yeah. Oh, little guys.
How many children are you friends with?
Valid.
That's the other thing I think somebody pointed out on Twitter. The reaction of him when the girls come into the ice cream shop versus when Dustin comes back. And he's just so over the moon.
I know,
like,
he
so
is.
happy.
It was so cute.
So cute.
They're so cute together. One thing we were right on target about was a little sister being the smarter of the two and just totally rocking out. So, like this season, unfortunately, and I guess Lucas is a side character in general, his sister gets more airtime than he does, really.
I think she shines more than he does.
She does.
I mean, Erica's amazing. You can't spell America without Erica. She's so great.
She is.
She's a closet nerd, which I think is the best.
And she doesn't even realize.
She does, but she plays it down. She knows she's smart.
I love that, Dustin breakdown.
Yes.
About her being a nerd.
He uses the scientific method.
Yeah, and then talks about the My Little Pony, which is hilarious. Mm-hmm. You know what we have to post? We have to post those, tiles that show you if you've actually seen Stranger Things Season 3 all the way through.
Spoilers with no context?
Yes. Let's post some of those.
Yeah, we will. Follow us on Twitter at, Totes Random. We'll be posting a ton of the spoilers without context. Because after you've seen it, they're hilarious.
Hilarious. So let's quickly just touch on that conversation that Mike and Will had. Yeah.
Oh my! I was shaken to my core.
I was too. I thought it was great because I didn't get any vibe before.
Oh,
so,
really?
Well, no. I got a vibe from Will 100%.
Okay.
But what I mean is I didn't. So from my perspective, Mike is going, "You're gay."
Right.
Okay, because there a few people will say, well, you're just not interested in girls yet.
Right. I think that's the thing. I think that's why it's ambiguous.
Yeah.
And I think that why they're throwing it out there without making it 100%. Because he is young. Clearly you're seeing he's immature. He still wants to play D&D.
Yeah.
Everybody else wants to make out with their girlfriend.
Yes.
So it could be, I'm saying this because you're young and you just don't like girls yet. Or it could be because you're gay. And the way that they pause right after, both of them, they don't gasp, but you feel that, you know?
Yes, you do. It's definitely that tension of
right.
awkward.
The unsaid being said.
Yeah. I actually love that, of course. I love that it's kind of becoming more prominent and more accepted into, shows, especially with, kids.
Yeah.
I think it's hard sometimes seeing these shows with older people and you're like, oh, I'm gay and this is really hard. But, those people generally tend to know from a really young age. So, yeah. So, definitely a spoiler alert. If you have not already finished the season, Alexi dies.
My sweet baby angel, Alexi.
Not before giving a full rundown about how to delete this season's bad guy, or
how to
the flare, the mind flare.
No, how to blow up.
Yeah.
The whatever that is, machine that's opening the portal.
Yeah.
I don't know that they ever call it anything. But yeah, he's the most dangerous man in the world. He's a child killer. He really likes cherry ices, but he will drink a strawberry icy.
Strawberries are okay. So I love that it was a new character. He obviously was very knowledgeable, but like didn't actually have to speak English in order for him to be such a integral part of the season.
It's true. I mean, we loved him even though he was speaking Russian. And a lot of that is due to Maury. Maury?
Yes. Maury? Yeah, Maury.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Maury Bauman.
Sure.
Yeah, that one.
I love him. This season, he plays matchmaker again.
Oh, yeah. That's his thing. He just can feel that tension.
He just knows.
But he's also a bit of a douche, so he's, like, willing to call it out.
But I love it.
Yeah.
He's just, like, no holds barred. He's just like, you guys need to get it together. Because I'm sick of listening to you argue.
Because, frankly, I'm sick of this tension.
And then when he turns to Alexei and he's like, they haven't had sex yet. And the other guy just cannot believe it.
Yeah, he's like, they haven't had sex yet.
So, and they just have a good long laugh.
Oh, R.I.P. And then they go to the fair and he dies.
Yeah, after wanting to be an American.
How sad, and he had his little teddy bear with him.
I know.
My
whole heart.
Another one bites the dust.
You know what? He's this season's Bob.
Oh, well, I liked him more than I like Bob.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. But he's the character that they introduce and then make you like him and then immediately wrench him out of your heart.
Yep, that's true.
Fucking rude.
Rough. So, what are our theories about the very end of the last episode?
Okay, so speaking of heartbreak, Duffer Brothers, more like Suffer Brothers.
Hashtag.
Oh my god. Okay, so and they had to do this after Joyce and Hopper
decide to go on a date finally
and
get their shit together, and of course she has to make the decision. Of course her character has to be the one to literally pull the plug. Yeah, on their little love fest.
And Hopper was just stuck there. I mean, okay, so we've all seen the after the credit scene. If you haven't, pause, go back, watch it, come back. But it cuts to, I can't remember the town in Russia.
But Russia.
And I mean Russia somewhere.
In general.
And they're taking this prisoner out and they walk to a door and they say, no, not the American.
Yeah.
Pull out another guy and feed him to the original Demogorgon.
Oh my god, I know, that's crazy.
I was like, oh my god, I know him.
We work together.
She's like, I've seen him before. I know his name.
That was crazy to see the Demogorgon again.
Yes.
I don't know why, but it has been out of my mind for so long now.
I agree. I mean, he's like the iconic character, so I love that they're bringing him back.
Me too.
Kind of coming full circle.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
So my theory is that I think Hopper is the American. Although I don't know how, but I'm sure they'll explain it in some sort of way.
The only thing I can think of is that when she was about to blow up the thing, the portal had opened enough for him to go through. That's the only thing I can think of. And then obviously in Russia, they're doing experiments and trying to open their own portal or what have you.
And he thought that was his only way out.
Right.
Because he could see that she had to make that decision.
Exactly. So it's either die in this blast or take my chance in the Upside Down.
Because regardless, he might die anyways.
So that's one theory. Another theory that I don't want to get my hopes up that he's still alive because of this. I don't want to get my hopes up that he's the American, because what if it's Dr. Brenner?
Oh. Papa?
Yep.
Oh. Huh.
Because how would the Russians know about the Upside Down to begin with?
How did he die?
He didn't.
Oh.
They're pretty sure he died, but remember when she goes to visit, when we switched to Punk 11 in season 2, and the guy that used to be the guard or something like that at the lab is like, oh, you think he's dead? He's not dead.
What?
So
I don't even remember that.
I rewatched it, that's why I remember.
Oh, damn. That's a good one.
So Brenner is out there somewhere.
You're right.
How did the Russians know about the Upside Down at all?
That was my question all the time, the whole time.
Exactly.
How do they know?
But the other thing is, if he is in fact colluding with the Russians, would they keep him in a cage? Would they keep him locked up in jail? I don't know.
Maybe they're using some of that like truth serum that they were using on Steve and Robin.
I love that scene so much.
Too. The scene where they're kidnapped and they're tied and they're sitting down and talking about
and just like high as a kite.
Yeah,
so good.
And I think just to kind of circle back around to their love, non-love interests,
Mm-hmm.
their
platonic love.
Yeah, their platonic love.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a good chemistry, and it would be a tragedy for them not to be best buds.
Oh, they're gonna be best buds.
Yeah, they have to be.
Like, she couldn't work at the video store without Steve.
Oh, that's true.
Obvi. Okay, how do we feel about the move?
I don't know. So they never tell us where they're going, really.
No.
So it could be an hour away. It could be someplace really close. But I think going back to kind of their shared trauma, I think is going to be a catalyst for their healing. So I don't really know what that means for next season, but obviously they're going to have to come together.
Right.
And, you know, fight the Demogorgon. I think we can assume that that's what's happening next season. I don't know. I think Joyce probably needs a new start.
I think so. I mean, especially after Bob. I think Hopper was kind of convincing her to stay, but after Hop, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Is there life after Hop? I think not.
No. I mean, 2 men bite the dust.
Yeah, Joyce is a little bit of a Black Widow.
without any of it being her fault.
Without being the murderer, I think it's just luck of the draw. But, God, can you imagine?
No.
You're like the love of your life, and then a year later...
No, dude. No. That would be the worst. Like, I don't know how people move on in general.
Yeah,
like,
I don't...
Not to get too deep.
No.
Because obviously, but like, how do you move on with your life, let alone trying to raise a kid that's not yours now, and then 2 of your own?
Well, but Joyce is like the quintessential mom. Joyce is
super cool.
The only choice, I think, for 11.
For sure.
God.
I mean, and she's the only other adult who even knows what has happened between them in the past.
True.
She's the only one who can take L.
I think that's a lot for Joyce as a single mother to take on.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a lot of real world questions here.
We have some logical questions we need answered.
Well, I guess we'll find out in season 4.
That's true.
My theory is that season 4 is going to be set around Thanksgiving and or Christmas, kind of like the first season.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the end of the season, they're talking about how they got the permission to go for Thanksgiving and that they were coming for Christmas, possibly.
Right.
So I kind of feel like the whole gang will be back together.
My theories for season 4 will be, I think it's gonna be a long game. I think they're gonna kind of show us various things throughout the year, whether it be them trying to like heal and get over it and get on with normal lives. I don't know when the exact fight will take place, because of course everything is always leading up to this big fight, but I think it's probably pretty on brand to be a Christmas thing, to kind of have it circle back around to the first season and the lights. Now that we know it's a Demogorgon, of course there has to be some sort of light action.
You know what, that's the other thing, they're bringing back the Demogorgon, so I feel like they're just going to echo a lot of season 1. So I think the Christmas and the Demogorgon come together.
I think that makes sense. So that'll be kind of interesting to kind of maybe see, not only are they going to grow up before our eyes again.
Oh my God.
I know. Little wolf's leggies.
Dude, he's so gorgeous. How is he so pretty?
I know.
Ugh.
It's the hair.
And he's so tall.
I wonder if he's going to cut his hair off after, like, they totally stop Stranger Things. I don't want to talk about it, but...
I mean, I don't think so, because he has, like, the beautiful, wavy, looks like how you wish a perm would look hair.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I hope not. But like, I feel like you see a lot of actors after these really iconic shows or movies just like do something totally drastic with their hair.
That's true. Just a total change of pace, a total different look.
Yeah, because it wasn't them, it was their characters.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But he's in a band and he's like super cool. It would make sense to keep it, I guess.
I think so. They're all in bands.
All of them?
Dustin is in a band.
Well, yeah, I saw that.
Obviously, he's got the pipes.
Have you... Oh my God, that's right. Oh, Susie.
Susie, do you copy?
I love that Susie actually ended up being a person.
The whole time was like, Susie has to be real because this is too much.
Yeah, like way too much.
So good.
And she came in, like, you forgot about her completely
100%.
Until the last 15 minutes of the freaking season.
The only thing I'm a little bitter about is I kind of blame Susie for Hopper dying. Because I was talking about this with my friend, because you had to break into a song.
True.
If they had those extra seconds, Hopper might have gotten out of there.
Maybe.
They might have done this before the Russian dude came in, because it was at the last second.
Yeah.
God damn it, Susie.
I know, I felt like that too, actually.
Susie ruined my whole life.
But if he's not dead, then
it's fine, I guess.
I guess we're okay with her.
I guess. I mean, it was a cute moment. I feel like Dustin is gonna have some kind of I I think that's kind of where he's gearing towards, is maybe something music related, because I feel like that happens a lot.
In his real life.
Yeah, so I feel like that happens a lot when people are like leaning towards something musical, a la Hilary Duff, Lizzie McGuire.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a blast from the past.
But yeah, so they're all in bands. Dustin, Finn, Joe, Steve, aka the love of my life. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is so fucking stupid, but I remember somebody posted something about him in a Facebook group that I'm in, and I was like, oh my god, I love him, etc., etc. And the girl was like, oh, I see him all the time. He plays at this club in Chicago that I go to all the time, and he's always there.
Oh.
I was like, fuck!
Is it like rock or like emo?
I don't know.
In Chicago. Huh. Is he from Chicago?
Probably.
Interesting. I don't know much about him.
I don't either, surprisingly, for being so in love with him.
Yeah. I think we've really tried to keep it the love for the show, not overshine our love like for individuals.
I feel like I love him regardless.
Doesn't matter what it is.
No, because I mean, even just his vibe, his Instagram, whatever. Obviously, it's all curated. Yeah, but he still seems like he's just kind of goofy.
Kind of chill.
Yeah. Like just...
Do you remember when he did that Domino's commercial?
Domino's commercial.
You didn't see that one?
No.
He did it where it was like, it was like literally right as season 1 came out.
Yeah.
And he was the Domino's pizza delivery dude. And he like climbed over a fence and he like fell down because like this dog was chasing him.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. I mean,
I gotta watch that.
It was funny.
You know what? Okay, you know what my favorite part is? And I've been telling everybody when they get to this, they'll know which part is my favorite. When Steve gets the keys to the car, the Todd father... And he's just like, Steve's your daddy.
And who goes, did he just say daddy? Was that Erica or was that Robin?
I don't know. Erica. I literally jumped off my couch and I was like, fuck it up, Steve. Like every time somebody did something interesting, I would just be like, fuck it up, Joyce. So that's stuck in my head now.
The Todd father. You want to talk about Hopper?
I would love to talk about Hopper. Okay, so I hate that people call people daddy. It makes me so uncomfortable.
It's weird.
I hate it
it's weird for
so
me.
much.
Yeah, same.
But, okay, so I hated it so much that I would call Hopper Papa Hopper. Papa Hop for short.
Papa Hop.
But honestly, I think he's daddy this season.
Hilarious.
Like, 100%.
He definitely, like, in what way? Kind of like the...
Like... I don't even know how to explain it. He's just like is the best. I love Dad Bod Hopper.
Yeah, same.
You know, I love season 1 Dad Bod Hopper, but I feel like he's come full circle Dad Bod.
Do you think he's thinner in this season?
I think the scenes where he's wearing his sick 80s shirt.
That Miami Vice shirt.
Dude, yes. And those like light wash jeans. Yes. I feel like when he's doing that, he's a little thinner than the beginning of the season where he's wearing his uniform. And I don't know if it's because the ensemble is more flattering.
I wonder if it's the uniform. And I think it has something to do with the shirt and the rolled up sleeve. Because you can kind of see a hint of like bicep there.
Right.
And so I think you think that he's been working out or I don't know, he lost weight or something. But that's because of Hellboy, right?
Right.
Or
so that's what I was kind of thinking. And he said before the season was released that you're going to get like Dad Hopper, you're not going to get Hellboy Hopper.
Okay.
So I just wonder if some of the scenes were filmed non-sequentially and that's why maybe the uniform scenes he seems like a little more.
And I mean like that tan uniform is not flattering.
Not at all.
It can't be flattering on anybody, let alone a 6'3".
Yeah. No.
Dad.
You know who? Okay, my favorite random character is the deputy with the glasses.
The what? The what?
Hopper's deputy. Okay, why do I say deputy weird?
I thought you said deaf beauty.
I say shit weird. No, his deputy. Okay, so season 1, he's in it a lot more and he's kind of sassy, but he's got the glasses.
Yeah.
I love him.
Me too. I'm
so
surprised
much.
he wasn't in it enough.
I know. I wish he was in this one more, but I mean, they still showed him at least once.
Yeah.
But I just love him. I don't know why. When he came on screen, I was like, yes.
It's because he's sarcastic.
I think so, and he's got the eyes that are too close together.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I have a problem.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Victoria has a thing with men with their eyes too close together.
Yeah, I'm gonna die alone. It's fine.
thanks for listening. If you guys want to check out some more of our stuff, please go to our Instagram, Like Totally Random. Hit up our Twitter page at Like Totes Random. You can even send us an email if you absolutely hated our guts or want to give some props. LikeTotallyRandomPod@gmail.com.
It's nice here as a Slurpee. It's a fucking Slurpee.
Is it?